Okay, good morning. My name is Cherie. Welcome to my journey. This is my vlog. So today, we're going to try to go to the senior center and work out with some weights. And maybe even do some, lightweight aerobics. Okay? Um, we're trying to get healthy. We're trying to get mobile, right? Um, I believe I'm gonna have to be mobile, if I plan to, work at any time, even if it's part time. I'm still needing to be mobile. The one thing, that kind of bothered me was like, oh my gosh, there are certain positions, that I don't know why these employers will force you to stand up, and do your whole shift standing up, right? And that's one of the reasons why I do like Aldi's. I like Aldi's because they allow, their clerks to sit down while checking out the customers, right? And apparently that doesn't stop them from doing their job, because they're doing their job well. All right? So I think it's just, brutality, where an employer knows that, the work can be done standing or sitting. It should be a choice, right? But an employer acts like, well, no, it's not a choice because I have to make accommodations. I have to get aerodynamic seats. I have to this, that, and the third. Okay, you don't. You don't. You tell them this is how it is. If this is not sufficient, they can stand up. Okay? But no, for whatever reason, the whining, the pampering, and the accommodations, it just, eventually work people right out of having a job. Let's keep it real. Whew. So yeah, it's already 90 degrees outside, and it's 11:30. So it is going to be a hot day today. My daughter has said one of the weirdest things to me the other day. She was like, Mom, if you see a husband for me, keep a lookout for me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I will keep a lookout for her. I remember there was a time I was on the lookout for a husband for her. And I was like, because I feel like, if a young man, likes me, right, then surely, where are you? They would like my daughter, right? Because she, kind of resembles me. She kind of acts like me, Of course, there's some differences. But, overall, there's a resemblance. And a lot of times, what we like in people that we don't even know is a resemblance or a frequency. So yeah, today is Saturday. Oh my gosh. So many people are out and about. Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, we have people that have to work on Saturdays, and a lot of people are having to get the hustle on Saturdays. But you know, here's another thing though. Here's the other thing. It is really hard to pick a suitor for my daughter not knowing, how rebellious she still is. All right, I don't spend a lot of time with her. I spend a little bit of time with her here and there and here. If you add up the hours, you could say maybe I talk to her maybe about an hour a month, right? And there are several times that I do pick up on her being very rebellious. And like I said, I know her to a certain degree, but what I don't know is her rebelliousness, right? What is that? Well, when she's rebellious, she chooses to utilize her free will to deviate from her programming, right? I mean, I love for people to see themselves, in the same framework as being a business. I love that for them. Okay? I also love the idea, since a lot of people are into programming, to see themselves, as an operating computerized system. All right? I do. I love that for them. Okay? So, the whole thing is, is to find a system that works for you, or maybe even several systems, like I do, right? I have several systems tabulated in my CPU that I can utilize for different situations, right? And it helps me get through my life, all right? Now, if you're going to use a system, right, the best thing to do is to be obedient to the system while you're using it. Okay? Otherwise, you're going to have a system error, a 404, bitch. Right? And you have too many 404 errors, eventually, admin is going to revoke your access. You're going to access denied. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how humid it is out here. It's got me feeling all moist. But anyway, so, like, I can tell you, I learned programming when programming wasn't really called a program. It was called computer basic language, right? We were studying the zeros and the O's. Y'all are lucky. Y'all get to apply applications. Okay? Y'all are lucky. But I'll tell you, I spent a many hours, connecting my little keyboard to the television and going through the machine language of zeros and O's just to make a word. Okay, y'all don't have to do that. Y'all can tap into these different programs, and if you know these different programs, which is different systems, right? You can develop your own simulation. Okay, so I am here, and hopefully it is open. Yep, it's open. I believe it's open. And let me rush in here and get my workout going. Oh my gosh, one thing I'm gonna have to learn to incorporate, before even getting out of bed, is learning how to do stretches in the bed before I even get out of the bed. I think that will make my life so much easier. Okay? And I wouldn't have to worry so much about the aches and pains of this workout. Because I know that I should be stretching before and after my workouts. And I should probably also be stretching before I get out of bed in the morning. Yeah. Why? Because, as I gotten older, I've gotten a lot stiffer, less pliable. Let me put my Oh, and another thing that I wanted to do is start listening to music. Another thing I wanted to do is start listening to music or a podcast or something while I'm working out, hoping that if I'm occupied or my mind is thinking about something else, that I'm not even sure which phone it's connected to. I hate that for me. Let's check. Okay. Not this one. It's this one.